We are happy to have you back in the country. I'm pretty much sure that you've seen a lot, have experienced a lot. Would you kindly just give me a general feel of what did it feel like to be in the US? And what are the new things you think we should know about US that is different from Namibia?
Governor, it's an honor to be here, to be invited by you to be doing this Q&A. You know, the first thing is, as a young boy from a small town like this, I didn't even dream about, even flying overseas. So just the fact that I was in an aeroplane, that meant a lot to me. But just a little bit of a highlight of what the whole thing was about. It was this whole organization, it was done by the Mandela Washington Fellowship. So the Mandela Washington Fellowship was originally started by the previous president, Barack Obama. The initiative behind it was to bring together African leaders that are all over the world, all over Africa, to bring them together to a central place where they can share ideas and then they can learn from the United States, because we are developing nations, and then we might learn on agriculture, new technologies, and how that we can capitalize on these things. That was actually the core purpose of the idea behind the Mandela Washington Fellowship. One, how does it work? You can apply, currently the application is on right now. There are 32 different African countries that qualify. There's a list of that. I can always share that later on with the viewers. So what happens is you need to be part of Africa. So this Mandela Washington Fellowship is just for the African nation. It's 700 of us in total that will be going to the United States. But we'll be placed in 35 different universities and 35 different states. I was placed in Iowa City at the University of Iowa. And then the track that I got involved in was the business track. So the business track is mostly for upcoming entrepreneurs, people that want to start their businesses, people that want to start up businesses, people that have business ideas but do not know how to get funding or do not know how to scale up their businesses. But the other two tracks is the civil track. This is more on politics, how politics is done in the US, etc., how you can learn from policies, how to draw up policies. This is now more of the civic. And then the last one is the public. So the public track is basically you visit the public office, you will be visiting schools, how their public system basically works. So during my 6 weeks, day to day, I had classes. I had face-to-face classes of lecturers in leadership, in business. We also learned about something called Venture School. Venture School is a tool that we use to start businesses. This tool helps you to identify things like customers, things like business opportunities, how to set your price, how to market your business, how to do business pitches. Because one thing that was key to me is how to present a business idea to an investor. Because most of us time we have good ideas, but we do not know how to present these ideas to possible investors. So they taught us how to write up a proposal. So I had 2 weeks to compile a proposal, two business proposals, and also to touch up on my business plan. And then at the end of those 2 weeks, I had the opportunity to present a business pitch based on that. So they had public speakers, professional speech writers, professional business plan writers. These people were the mentors that we had. So it was quite very, very educational.
Now, I can tell it was a rich experience. I know that before you boarded the plane to the US, you already were involved. You tried on your own with a business you call 𝐌𝐀𝐍𝐃𝐄𝐋𝐀. At the time that you left the country and now that you are back, what do you see is the difference? If you can just give me the background, and how do you anticipate using this exact rich information and education you have received? How do you want to navigate now your company to the higher heights?
Okay, first of all, before I left Namibia, I had quite of what we call it in Afrikaans, when we have the donkey.
Okay.
I just had this, one vision. I was looking in front. But when I went to the States...
Tunnel vision.
Yes, tunnel vision, they call it. So when I went to the States, I saw more opportunities. I saw more potential of my business. So at first, I had business services that I was providing that was not really generating the type of money. So when I got through Venture School, they helped me to identify key services that I need to focus on that will generate the money that I need. So I restructured my business. I restructured my business approach, and it also helped me a lot when it comes to how can you get into investors. So now currently I'm busy re-engineering my media company. So when I got there, I have quite a few ideas I learned from them that I'm going to be implementing through my media business. For example, I was never into cosmetics. So when I got there, I had a business pitch, and then I was approached by a lady called Rose. She makes her own cosmetics when it comes to oils and different stuff. She took me to her workshop, and then I saw that anyone, even a young person or a young boy, can start up something like that. What basically she does is she uses herbs that she is importing from all around Africa. And one of those herbs is something that we have here in Namibia. The herb, we call it the hibiscus.
Oh.
It's something that we plant here. So after getting to her, she's actually a professional chemist. So she showed me how we can take a natural herb, how it can be tested, and how we can find out what are the key benefits, health benefits of that. So that's where I got the idea. You know about the Nama traditional medicine. We have the 𝐌𝐀𝐍𝐃𝐄𝐋𝐀. So those are the things that I'm planning to collect and to send to her so that she can test these chemicals, these herbs for us. Maybe we can use these herbs for hair products, for soaps, to fight cancer, to fight skin diseases. There's a possibility.
Yeah.
So this is one of the key things when I went on the other side that I have learned and that I'm planning on investing in.
So I'm hearing that diversification here in
Yes,
the business.
so that's one thing. When I went to the United States, I diversified my opportunities because I was too much into media, into IT.
Okay.
But with your business to scale up, you need to try and diversify and try to open up different opportunities because my business, I want to employ more. So to employ more, you need to start manufacturing. So that is also one thing that I've learned. I asked one of the guys to help me with a supplier. He said, for me to become successful, you must stop asking for the supplier and start becoming the manufacturer. So that is the problem we have in Africa and especially also in Namibia. We rely too much on South Africa. Imagine cosmetics. It's something, a soap. We are importing bar soaps from South Africa. Why can't we make it here in Namibia? So these are some of the ideas I've learned that we must stop relying on another country because COVID taught us quite a good lesson that we are depending too much on the outside. We could not even make our own hand sanitizer, which is so easy to make. You just need a few chemicals and you just need a small lab. This lady I'm talking about, she's operating from her basement and she is having a business turnover over $1 million per year. So if she can do it in her basement, we can also do that here in Marintal, in the HARDAP region, places like Stampriet, Amberboer. These are the places that we have to target to get these type of things up and going, to bring about development into the region.
I get you. Sanitizers, if you go back to the period of COVID, a very devastating time that we don't want to recall actually, you are right. That really was a time that we learned a lot of lessons. But now my question is, you should know that as a region, as a HARDAP region, but entirely the Namibians, us as a nation, we are happy to see that you could benefit from the Mandela Washington Fellowship program. And if I can tell already from your experience and what you're sharing with us, definitely that is something we should want to see. Now, can you perhaps help the other young people out there, in particular the HARDAP young people, the youth? What is it that they should do? How should they position themselves? What exactly should they have in order to probably also be a beneficiary from this Washington Fellowship?
Okay, the first thing is, I just want to tell our young people, they should they have to be proactive. That is one thing that I've learned. There are opportunities out there, but if you are not proactive, if you are not a go-getter, you will never get to those opportunities. We all have the same song that people are singing. The government is not doing anything for us. Government is not doing that for us. But for us to move to the next level, we need to start something on our own to meet the government halfway. So my first advice for young people not only in the HARDAP region, but all over. We need to start diversifying our circles. We need to start networking. We need to start getting involved in, when we have expos. We need to start reading more, looking up, ideas, and then sharing ideas as well. That is also one issue that I have. We don't share, because people sometimes feel like if I start sharing, someone will steal my idea. But someone might just enrich your idea. So the first advice is young people should start diversifying. They should start getting involved in volunteering. They should start getting involved in, programs that the government is running. And go online. It's so easy. How I came about the Nelson Mandela Fellowship is on social media. And 80% of the young people are on social media.
Exactly.
They are on social media. So sometimes social media can be good and can be bad. I got onto this thing. I've been applying for this 3 years in a row. 3 years. It's not like I was the lucky guy. It took me 3 years. It took me 3 years to actually get into the Mandela Fellowship. The first year I failed. Second year, they shortlisted me, but I did not make it to the third round. Last year I applied, and then they called me, and I was successful. And it's quite a lengthy application. You have to write motivational, motivate why you are the right candidate. We were told that this year from Namibia, 35,000 Namibians applied. From the HARDAP region, we were just a fraction of the 35. So it just shows that people are not having interest. Last year there was a
perhaps the interest are misplaced.
Or the interests are misplaced. So I think like young people should start showing interest in such programs. Next week, I will start rolling out a campaign where I'll be giving more information about the Mandela Fellowship and how you can get into the Mandela Fellowship. It's all you need is time. Everything is paid for. From your visa up until your flight tickets, your accommodation, and they even give you an allowance for the 6 weeks that you'll be on the other side. And you will have an opportunity to network with 700 African leaders, plus businesses from the United States. People from all around the world come together in Washington for a whole week, where you have access to all of these networks.
I'm hearing you telling us that the youth should start to have appetite for positive things, for good things, as far as social media is concerned, so that they should work on themselves and benefit from what can come as positive from social media. Now, towards the final conclusion of our time on the air, I'd like to know, what is it that you are now going to do particularly? Can you give us probably a schedule of 1 or 2 or 3 things you want to do in the immediate now?
Okay. Why I actually engaged with the governor is because there are a few programs that I want to run through the governor's office, so that we make sure that everyone gets a piece of the cake. The first thing that I'm currently working on is, when I was on the other side, I had the opportunity to meet up with a young gentleman. He's into electronic waste. So what he does is he collects this electronic waste from different companies. Because in the US, there's a policy that says within 5 years, you need to somehow get rid of any laptop or computer that you have bought. So these things become waste. Now in the US, within a day, they can buy even 2 to 3 million electronic devices. So it means that there's overland. So what he does is he takes these things, refurbish them, and then he will sponsor them to the African countries that might be in need of ICT equipment. So I told him, I come from a very small country, and I come from a very small region, and we don't have access to ICT. That is also one of the biggest reasons why we don't have information, why we cannot access information. So I am going to start a program where he will be sponsoring me with ICT equipment, which through the governor's office we want to really donate to schools that don't have this. Because I believe that information is very important, and everyone has the right. Just like the right to education, you have the right to information. So through this initiative that I'm having, I believe that having at least a laptop, 5 computers at a school, like a small school, rural areas, that's what I'm targeting. People will be able to access the internet. They can be able to access more information. So this will actually help sharing of information. So at the immediate, that is one of my projects that I'm currently busy with. The other one is I really want to get young people to have the same experience that I had in Iowa City, because Iowa City is quite a very well-developed, welcoming city, I would say. It's a city where you can find your purpose. And that's what it did to me. So I want to also run a program where I'm going to take high school learners to Iowa City, to the University of Iowa, for them to be exposed and for them to see what are the opportunities that are on the other side. Just to open up their mind. Because I believe sometimes our youth has potential, but they are not exposed to all of these opportunities. So once we can expose them, and this program I want to run yearly. I would start with Marintal, I would go to Stambreed, I would go to Gibeon, you know, and then later on we'll go the whole of Namibia. So we at least have 50 young Namibians straight from high school going to a place like Iowa University to see what are the opportunities, because I think their mind is just a bit limited. So these are just some of the few ideas that I have for them, and that I want to run through the Office of the Governor, and also to empower our young people.
Now, before we close our interview and sharing the experience of the people, I'm hearing you saying your focus is on the young people, the youth. You want them to be empowered and capacitated, and that would come through exposure. I definitely am supporting that idea, because our young people, in particular in my region, since we are now in HARDAP region, definitely need that type of or kind of exposure, and I think I should encourage you to start to work towards it. But also from myself to the young people that are hearing us here, we should know that if you just sit there, nothing will come your way. It's about going around, being inquisitive to know what is out there that I can have, and do something with myself for a positive me, because I cannot just be me the way I am every day. I need to work on my me to be a different me tomorrow.
Yes.
And that can only come with wanting to know what are the opportunities out there. Thank you for a practical lesson, that it can happen for HARDAP region, also that it can happen for Namibian young people, that they can manage to get themselves, apart from government assistance and government aid and private sector aid. You did this on your own, and I think that should be a lesson to be learned by the young people, so that they should come and hear from you. How did you start this? What did you do? How can I be part of this? So that they are also going to be counted in something that is going to bring about a different spirit for the young people of this region. So before I say the final thank yous to you and to the Iowa University and to the Mandela Fellowship for what they have done through you for us as a region, is there anything else that you want to share with your young people and the other viewers out there?
Yeah, to the viewers, I just want to say nothing is impossible. I came from the dusty streets of Marintal when nothing was happening. Honorable Governor is sitting here, also like me. I also have future dreams of sitting as the governor of the HARDAP region. I'm actually manifesting it right now. And then after 10 years, the governor will be sitting on this side, interviewing me, telling me, as the governor of the HARDAP region, what have you done so far? Or how did you carry on from the legacy? Because these are the type of dreams we need to start having. Because if you don't have these dreams, you will never reach the limit. They say if your dreams don't scare you, then you are not dreaming big enough. So I just want to say, guys, let's start dreaming big. Nothing is impossible. Let's start being proactive. Don't wait for the government to do things for you. Start by yourself. So with these few words, I just want to say, Honorable Governor, thank you for having me. The viewers, I believe we have inspired someone out there who is following us on our social media. And from next week, I will be having a campaign where I'll be rolling out how you guys can get involved in the Mandela Washington Fellowship. So from the regional office here in HARDAP region, thank you for tuning in and have a nice day.
On behalf of the region, HARDAP region, the leadership in its entirety, thank you to the Mandela Fellowship for having allowed a young man from a simple town as Marintal to be able to go see the US. I'm pretty much sure that what he has received that site would help my people and myself see the world from different lenses going forward. Thank you again, Iowa University, for the practical lessons in your lecture rooms for our young men. Kanyaka, go out there and get more, because there is more out there waiting for you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.
Okay.